to New York.
Remember when you were the new kid at school and nothing seemed to go right? That's Angel Reese right now, except her bad day is happening in front of thousands of angry Chicago Sky fans. Let's talk about why things are falling apart. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So did you click the subscribe button? Great. Thank you so much. Now, back to the video. Do you recall the staggering statistics we shared? They are about to paint an image that not even Reese's most ardent admirers will be able to deny. Can you believe it? Her shooting percent has dropped so much that her collegiate stats seem like a faraway dream. Now we can dissect it. Angel Reese has stunned everyone with her recent performance. Only 7 points were hers in a recent match. Yes, I did say 7. Even worse though is to come. She was firing from the ground up, exactly 1/3. The WNBA isn't easy, I know. Perhaps she's simply adjusting. The most shocking part though is that Reese had a 53.6% clip while playing for LSU. By that measure, she was ranked 33rd out of all players in her position. Decent, if not spectacular. Right now, when compared to her WNBA stats, those collegiate numbers are Hall of Fame worthy. We're not referring to a little decline here. Both the fans and the coaches are baffled by this precipitous decline. The problems that Reese is facing however, not isolated incidents. Everyone on the Chicago Sky is hurting. Their last 10 games have resulted in a 3-7 record. That is the very definition of playoff depressing territory. Just wait until you find out about their shooting problems. That's awful already. Think about it, this NBA club is recognized for playing at a high level, yet they're shooting 3 for 10 from the field over the course of a full game. Just think about that for a while. That is historically terrible, not merely terrible. Who do you think is smack dab in the center of this gunfire disaster? Indeed, Angel Reese. Is it all Reese's fault? You may be asking currently. Obviously not. To top it all off, basketball is played by a team. However, issues arise when your best player, who should be spearheading the effort, posts statistics that make benchwarmers appear terrific, very large. Unfortunately, the Sky's offense is now as predictable as a cheesy romantic comedy. Even though everyone is expecting the ball to go to Reese, it's more like seeing a slow-motion car wreck than magic. Mistake after misstep, failed attempt after failed attempt. It's heartbreaking to see, and the disappointment must be immense for the people who were expecting so much. Regarding the fans, they are not going down without a fight. Protests requesting reform are becoming viral on social media. They want Reese benched, not merely changed. You read it correctly. Her ardent admirers of a few months ago are now begging her to hop on the pine. However, things start to get intriguing at this point. It appears like the coaching staff is putting even more emphasis on making Reese the center of attention. They continue to run plays for her and give the ball to her at critical moments despite her problems. It's as frustrating as listening to someone attempt to start a car without gas. A lot of noise, but no actual movement. The scoreboard isn't the only source of increasing pressure. Fame and basketball are at odds with one another for Angel Reese. I don't know though, who's on top? What price will her WNBA career and her team pay? At first glance, Reese's problems may appear to be limited to turnovers and missed shoots. However, off the court, a completely different game is being played. Red carpet appearances and podcast recording keep Reese occupied as her adoring fans demand more practice time, like she's already attempting to emulate LeBron James's success before she's ever won a professional game. Now we can dissect it. Reese has been seen at famous galas, such as the Met Gala. A little flash and glamour surely can't hurt. Perhaps you should give up that fancy dress and hit the gym harder when you're only able to get a 30% success rate from floor exercise. I mean, it's not just the occurrences. With the release of her podcast, Reese is providing her followers with a glimpse into her private life. However, there are many who question whether she is revealing too much about herself. The mental game is just as important as the physical game in basketball. Plus, Reese doesn't appear to be focused on the court at all moments. However, the tough part starts here. Reese isn't simply coping with the typical pressures of a rookie. There's this whole Caitlin Clark rivalry storyline that she has to deal with. Before she has even established herself in the league, she seems to be be aiming to become a superstar. I can assure you that it will end badly. Even Reese has acknowledged the difficulty. It's tough because I hate losing, and I try to go out there every night and try to be as consistent as I can, according to her. However, uniformity? She hasn't been able to get that shot off recently. Where do the spectators stand? They are being really forthright. The internet is ablaze with outrage. And Reese's reaction? She's obstructing fans on all sides. She seems intent on erecting an impenetrable barrier between herself and the outside world. The problem is, that barrier is as sturdy as a house of cards in this social media era. Okay, now we can go on to the squad. The postseason hopes of the Sky are vanishing at the rate of Reese's Instagram followers. The focus is on more than simply her performance. Something is obviously wrong with the team dynamic as a whole. Teresa Weatherspoon, head coach, is facing criticism for the offensive setups and rotations she uses. It's as if she's determined to give Reese the ball despite her obvious struggles. Is Camila Cardoso still being considered? She seemed to be playing with one hand restrained despite her great numbers. Unfortunately for Cardoso, the offense isn't clicking, and she isn't receiving the touches she merits. As if observing a Ferrari stalled in first gear were the same thing. Reese is no longer the only one involved. It's about a group facing adversity. The level of stress in the locker room is unbearable. The veterans are murmuring under their breath. The newbies are questioning their abilities. And the fans. A complete uprising is just one more loss away for them. In Chicago, an unseen power is growing while everyone else rushes to find answers. Is the savior of the Sky standing right in front of us? Although Camila Cardoso's statistics are getting a lot of attention, her true potential may be the team's biggest secret. And for the sake of argument, let's mention Camila Cardoso. Cardoso has been quietly racking up some impressive statistics while everyone is focused on Angel Reese. Just recently, he had a game-high 11 rebounds and 6 assists. That has the ability to completely alter the course of events. Importantly, Cardoso isn't receiving nearly enough touches. The Sky are driving around in a beat-up minivan, even though they have a Ferrari in the garage. Many are perplexed as to why the coaching staff isn't making more use of her. Contemplate it. Cardoso scored more efficiently than Reese in a recent game. With fewer shots and a stranglehold on the boards, she scored 10 points. A game-changing performance like that can happen. Then why doesn't she play a larger role in the crime? Both supporters and experts are anxiously awaiting an answer to this question. Some are going so far as to say that Cardoso should be shooting 15 or more shots every game. It's a huge leap, but her efficiency makes it seem like the Sky could use it. Cardoso is a gift from Teresa Weatherspoon, the head coach. She has referred to her as different and discussed how Cardoso's adaptability creates fresh opportunities for offense. Be that as it may, there is a vast difference between knowing and actually doing. Instead than only stating their intentions, the Sky should take action. Now picture this: Reese and Cardoso, a formidable team, collaborating seamlessly. The fans have already begun referring to them as the Skyscrapers. This combination has the potential to terrorize opposition teams in the paint. Reese and Cardoso both had double-doubles in a recent game against the Indiana Fever, so we saw glimpses of it. Any team in the league can be defeated by that kind of 1-2 combination. However, Cardoso's shot volume is just one factor. Find a happy medium. At the moment, the Sky's attack is as formulaic as an awful romantic comedy. We all know Reese is going to get the ball, and so far, it hasn't worked. Reese may be relieved of part of that burden if Cardoso were more actively involved. Allow her space to recover her breath and rhythm. Contemplate it. Reese will have more room to work with if defenses are worried about Cardoso in the post. All of a sudden, those double teams may relax. A little more space can open up for those disputed shots. It's true what they say in Basketball 101. Having more than one threat makes you harder to defend. Also, the mental game must be considered. At this very moment, Reese is bearing an enormous burden. You feel like every missed shot is 10 times worse. The pressure will go away, though, if Cardoso proves to be a solid backup. No longer does Reese have to worry that her life depends on each possession as she plays her game. Preserving Reese's season isn't the only goal here. The stakes are high for the Sky's playoff aspirations. A more well-rounded attack with Cardoso in the center may be the game changer. You still have time, but it's running out.